everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and I am the dyer and podcaster behind Birch and Lily. Today is October 18th, 2021, and I have a lot of fun stuff to show you today. I also, if you haven't noticed, the lighting might look a little bit different. I'm trying something different. We'll see if this fixes the problems that I've been having the past couple videos, because I do always want to have the best possible content that I can for you guys, no matter what. So let me know what you think about the lighting in today's video. As well, a couple places you can find me on the internet. The main place is birchandlilyfiber.com. As well, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at birch.and.lily. And then there are a couple more places linked down below. Everything will be linked down below in the description, but Ravelry, Love Crafts, all those fun things. Now, I already got a notification that my phone is dying, so hopefully we can make it through this whole video with no problems. We will see. But yeah, I hope you guys are all having a lovely fall. I know we have been around here, we've been quite busy with yard work, and my husband is building a garage, so we've had lots of construction on the yard and stuff, so I've been busy, but I definitely have been getting in some knitting time, and I'm really excited about that. I am participating in my very first Stephen West mystery knit along. I saw the pattern, the first clue come out for this year, and I was intrigued, and so I thought I would jump on the bandwagon and see how it goes. So I will show you that for sure. I will make sure though that I do give you notice before I show it on the screen, just in case you want to keep the secret for the time being. But yeah, let's jump on into what I've been working on. So I do have one finished object this episode. These are my Pretty Song Socks, a pattern by Sommer Design Co. I knit these up, oh yeah, this lighting is way better. Okay, good. I knit these up out of some Peepaloo Fields yarn. She is no longer dyeing, unfortunately. This colorway here is Dahlia. And then this little, there he is, Progress Keeper is Piglet from Winnie the Pooh. That is a Progress Keeper from Random Fandom Bags. So what did I do for these socks? I cast on 64 stitches on 2.25mm needles. I did 5 rounds of 1x1 twisted rib for the cuff, and then moved straight into the heel, which I did a slip stitch heel flap and gusset for. Decrease the gusset, knit the foot, and put in a toe. So nothing crazy different about these socks compared to a normal pair that I would knit, other than the fact that these are gift socks. Usually for myself, I have a 6.5 size foot, so I'll knit, at least now, lately, 56 stitches for a pair of socks for myself, where this pair of socks is for someone with size 8 feet, so I'm using 64 stitches. So yeah, nothing crazy about these really. I really enjoyed knitting them. I'm excited to have another Christmas gift done, though I realize now it's almost November, and I always think I started quite early and I'll be ahead, and now I'm looking at the stuff that I haven't knit for gifts, and I just kind of don't want to work on it. I'm kind of okay with that. I think I'm just going to keep working on what I've been enjoying for the next little while and go with that, because I would rather be happy and doing that than not happy, and I don't know. A lot of the gifts that I have to make still are more simple things, and I think they'll be great for a little bit closer to Christmas once things start to get a little busy and I just want to sit and knit and not think. So for now, I'm working on my mystery knit along, a couple other things. I've been having fun. So yeah, very glad to have these done though. I think they're really, really cute. And yeah, still loving shorty socks. You'd think my mind would have changed with winter coming, but it is not, and the shorty socks will stay. And I wove in the ends on these already. I haven't blocked them. I've been terrible at blocking socks lately. I've been good at blocking shawls, so that's good, because I find it makes a lot more of a difference to block a shawl than it does a pair of socks. Socks, if you wear them once or twice, they'll block themselves on their own just from the heat of your feet. So I'm not as concerned about that. So will I block these? I don't know. We will see. So I am working on 3 shawls right now. Yes, I said it. I'm working on 3 shawls. I don't know what's wrong with me. Usually I have a rule of like 1 shawl and 1 sweater, but all I've wanted to work on is shawls. and the fact that I'm wanting to knit something has been a good thing for me, considering I haven't been feeling like knitting lately. So I'm working on 3 shawls. So let's jump into one of the new ones that I cast on first. I have learned from this process that I need some more larger knitting bags because this shawl barely fits in here, but that is okay. This bag is from that crafty little fox. These always get smushed. They have a waxed canvas bottom, which is, oh, I only have 10% left. Okay, we're gonna have to stop and charge this for a little bit, and I will come back because this is not gonna work. Okay, I'm back. We have 37%. We'll see if that gets this video done. I didn't want to wait any longer. So I was talking about this bag from that crafty little fox. It has a waxed canvas bottom, which makes it get slightly wrinkly, but I really like it because if I set it down somewhere that's wet by accident, it doesn't ruin my bag. So that is lovely. I have cast on rather a Brioche and Mystery shawl. This was a mystery knit along from Susanne Sommer's, I think this spring. And I was a chicken and didn't do it when it was a mystery. I saw it and I was intrigued and I thought about it, but I didn't do it. So I've cast it on now. And I am using this beautiful yarn. What do I want to say about it? It's all fingering weight yarn. There are 2 different types of bases in here. I'm never really concerned about mixing bases. So there are 2 75-25 or 3 75-25 bases in here, I think. Yes? No. There are 2 75-25 bases in here and 2 80-20 bases. So the first number in there is the amount of superwash merino in the yarn. The second number is the amount of nylon in the yarn. So let us see here. Go through all these colorways once I organize the messy, tangly messiness I have. So this here is from Sugarplum Circus. This colorway is called Seaglass, and this is a 75-25 base. Super pretty. This next color here, these last 3 actually are from Hey Sister Yarn Co. They are unfortunately no longer dyeing. I love their yarn, but I'm using it partially because I love how it looks together with these other skeins, but also because I kind of want to get it out of my stash so that I can show you guys yarn that you can actually purchase. So this one here is this beautiful, it's showing up a little bit more, if it'll focus. Hello? No? A little bit more, there we go, yellowy than it is in person, but it's a really pretty like mustardy sort of color, and this is called Halycon. This here is, I think I would call it peachy. Again, it's showing up a little less peachy on camera than it actually is. Ooh, does not want to focus today. My word, friend. Hello? What are you called? You are called Queen Buttercup. This was from a like club that they did. This is a little bit more accurate. Not really actually. This is from a club they did that was themed around the Princess Bride, which I was a part of. I think that was shortly before they announced they were no longer dyeing yarn. Sorry, got a mess here. And final color here. This one is called Matte Lip, also from Hey Sister Yarn Co. 80-20. The only one out of the Hey Sister yarn that was a 75-25 was the one I just previously showed you, Queen Buttercup. This is an 80-20. So, as this is no longer a mystery, I can show you what I have done. I cast this on with, I think, 1 needle size smaller than the pattern calls for. So I'm using a 3.25 millimeter, a US 3, and I think the pattern calls for a 3.5 millimeter US 4. But it's brioche, And I haven't knit brioche in so long, and I kind of really just wanted to knit brioche. So that was part of the reason I cast this on. Cast on, and it starts in this bottom corner here. And because it starts in that bottom corner, I'm showing you the wrong side. This is the right side. So you start in this bottom corner, and now you're working up and just increasing on the one side to make a triangle, and then I'll be picking up stitches around the edge of it and doing all sorts of fancy stuff. I'm sure I'll have popped a picture on the screen already of what I am doing with this, but it's brioche and I love it. And if you have not tried brioche, it's not that hard, shockingly. I was scared the first time I did it, but I did it. I think the first brioche project I knit was What the Fade. That was a mystery knit along from Andrea Mowry. But now that I've done it, it's really fun. So this triangle shape here is going to alternate between brioche, and this is just garter stitch right here, that panel in the middle. So I really, really like it. My only complaint with the pattern so far, which is the most minuscule thing ever and easy to fix, is that they have you remove markers in between like each different section of this, and today is just going to be a day, it seems. My phone crashed. So let's continue. What I was saying was that I wish they would get you to keep the markers in between each individual section. So that's what I'm doing, just so it's a little bit easier for me personally to know when I'm switching from like a brioche section to a garter section and so forth. But yeah, that is what I have so far on my brioche and mystery. Like I said, I dropped a needle size. I just know for myself that I knit brioche really loose. So dropping a needle size is just going to make sure that I'm not going to run out of yarn, because there are a couple colors in here, like with the yardage in the pattern, where you're pretty close to using up the whole skein. So I just wanted to give myself a little bit more leeway just in case. So yeah, that is my brioche and mystery. Let's jump next into my dotted rays. I have shown this once or twice on the podcast already, but this is a pattern from Stephen West, and I am doing the Speckled Fade version of the pattern, which basically is just this big squishy garter fadey shawl, which apparently I'm in the middle of a row on, so I apologize. So that might make this a little bit harder to show, but yeah, whoopsies. Usually I try not to do this. How can I, let's see. It's too smushed up on the needles right now anyways to really be able to show the whole thing. But if you see this little guy, where'd he go? Where, oh, because I'm on the wrong side. Am I? Oh my word. Where is my pumpkin? There he is. So that's where I was last time. And so I moved all the way up from that. But this pattern is all completely short rows. So you're not knitting the whole row every single time on the shawl. You only knit to a certain point to turn around and knit back, which gives it the really unique shape. Again, I'll have posted a picture on the screen so that you can tell what that is. But yeah, it's squishy garter. It's literally knitting the whole time with a couple yarn overs and decreases in there. So nothing crazy. Again, this pattern calls for a 3.5 millimeter, a US 4. I am using that needle for this because I wasn't too worried about running out of yarn, because this pattern is really customizable. That's the word I'm looking for. You can choose to do a larger version or a smaller version. It really all depends on you. So I'm aiming for the larger version, but if I don't have enough for the larger version, I'll just make do with what I have and stop it whenever. So the yarn that I'm using for this is from the Farmer's Daughters Fiber Company. I purchased this fade set in, I think, 2018, and when I received it, none of the yarn had ball bands, so I do not know any of the names for any of this yarn. I do know that it is a singles base, so it should be 100% superwash merino, single ply. And I can show you portions of the fade at once. So here's the first 3 skeins, and then here are the final 3 skeins. Very pretty. If you're looking for something that really does not take a lot of thinking, this is the pattern for you. It's very hard to mess up. And if you do make a mistake, it's very easy to fudge it. I've made a couple mistakes in here. I've had to add a stitch or decrease a stitch here or there to get to the right stitch count, and you would never know. So I do love that about this pattern. I know Stephen West always says something about not stressing. I can't fully remember, but I'm trying not to stress, and you know what? That has made knitting a lot more fun. I've always been the type of person where if I find a mistake, I have to work backwards to it, like completely rip out all of that knitting and fix the issue, and I think that's what kind of took a little bit of the joy away from me. So the fact that I can just take this and work on it and not care in the slightest has been really good for me, I think. Yeah, I don't even know which side is the front and the back on this right now because obviously I'm in the middle of a row, but you can see the fade really good right there. I really, really, really like this. And I think the lighting, while it is kind of changing and doing weird things in the background, it's showing the projects pretty accurately, so I'm thankful for that. I've really had a hard time with lighting lately. I don't know why. But yeah, loving this project. I will move that progress keeper up when I have a chance. And it is in a bag from Birch Grove. This is one of my very few large bags that I have, but I love it a lot. It fits tons of yarn in there. When all 6 of those skeins were still like full skeins, they fit, and this bag closed totally fine. So love the size of this bag and that I can fit lots in it. And that brings us to my Stephen West Shawlography Mystery Knit Along. I think what I'm going to do is I will give you a warning when I'm going to put it up on the screen. I'll show it, then I'll take it down and I'll let you know, and I can show you the yarn and talk about how I feel about it, if that works with you guys. So I'll show you the bag I have it in right now. This is just a tote bag from the Fiber Nook, back from my hometown, because that's the only other big bag that I have. The only other, I'm making this really confusing, I have that Birch Grove bag, this tote bag, and then I have one other large bag, which is housing my northeasterly blanket, which I haven't worked on in quite some time, and I really should. But yeah, maybe I'll pull that out. Probably not, but we'll see. Northeasterly blanket is in there. Anyways, I am going to show you the shawl now in about, oopsies, there was a little bit of it, in about 10 seconds. So if you do not want to see this, avert your eyes. I would give you a timestamp of when to skip to, but let's be honest, I'll probably forget that, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, don't look if you don't want to see, because I'm putting it up right now. So here is my Shawlography. I am basically caught up on Clue 2, minus the fact that I am still working on the stuff on this side. I don't want to say too much. So that's why it looks a little wonky right now. But isn't it pretty? I am shocked how much I like this. Stephen West has never really been my thing. His patterns are slightly crazy, but I'm enjoying this a lot. So I'm going to take it down off the screen now. If you did not want to see it, I will not talk about what I'm doing with it particularly, but I'm going to show you the yarn now. So the color A that I'm using right here is from Sugarplum Circus on their 80/20 base. This is called Rosemerta. Okay, we're running low on battery again, but I'm going to finish this. My color B is also from Sugarplum Circus. Focus, friend. This is the colorway Moon, also on their 80/20 base. Does not want to focus on anything but my face today, so that's fine. Color C, this is, and every single color following this one, they're all one of a kinds from Autumn and Indigo. So this really pretty blue, come on. I'll just hold them all up and hopefully it'll focus after that. And my color D is attached to the shawl, but it's this green, and this is my color E. And to be honest, I accidentally messed up, and a couple of these colors were at one point a different letter, and I accidentally used them in the wrong spot. But it was at a point in the shawl where it's not going to mess up my yardage at all, so I'm not too worried, and I just left it. But let me put this shawl away, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about it. I have always been worried about doing a Stephen West mystery knit along because his patterns can be quite eccentric, quite crazy, and they always worry me, and I'm worried that I'm going to start something and I'm not going to like it and I'm going to feel like I wasted my yarn. But I saw the first clue to this Shawlography mystery knit along and I kind of liked it, and so I don't know, one night I just had this itch to cast it on, so I did. And I'm shocked that I kind of like Clue 2 as well. And I've kind of hit a feeling now with this whole thing that even if I don't like the finished project, either I can rip it out and reuse the yarn for something else, or I can just leave it. But I'm learning so much from the pattern. I don't know, he's got a lot of really unique techniques in there that I've never used before, different stitches. I don't know, it's been really, really fun. So the fact that the clue came out on Friday, so what, 3-4 days ago, and I'm already almost done the second clue, tells me that I'm really enjoying it and I'm having a lot of fun. So I have been really happy with this knit along, and if you've been on the fence, I kind of think I would recommend that you cast it on. Like, what are you gonna lose? Possibly a little bit of yarn. Maybe don't pick your favorite skeins if you're a little bit worried, but I don't know, I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's been really neat to see it grow and to see, I don't know, kind of how his brain works, and I don't know, just work on something different, and I think it's made me really happy to knit again. So, because I know last episode I was like, oh my goodness, I'm a monogamous knitter, I don't know how I feel, I think I'm enjoying it, I don't know. Now I really want to knit again. So, and if I really only want to knit on shawls, then I really only want to knit on shawls. And I think that I've realized that even though I've been the sock girl or one of the sock girls for quite a while on this channel, doesn't mean I have to continue to be the sock girl. I can knit whatever I want and it doesn't matter. And you are all still gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna be happy, and that's all that really matters. So yeah, if you have any questions about, oh, I didn't say the needle size. That pattern, Shawlography, does call for a 3.5mm needle, a US 4 again, and I did drop down to a 3.25 US 3 just to be safe again and make sure that I'm going to have enough yarn to finish the project. So yeah. But like I said, if you have any questions about what I'm working on, about my change of heart with knitting, I don't know, ask me a question down below in the comments. I would love that. I would love to hear from you. And definitely keep an eye out for a video coming up, likely early to mid next week, with all of the yarn that will be in my update. And with more information on the date that it will be and all of that, because I'm not 100% sure yet. So keep your eye on the channel, keep your eye on my Instagram as well to see all of that fun stuff. And yeah, if you liked what you saw today, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. It would help the channel out a lot and it would make me feel really good. The channel has been feeling a little stagnant right now. My followers are going all sorts of weird places. It's okay, it is what it is, but if you haven't subscribed yet, I would love if you did that. It'll just give you more information on when I upload. You'll be able to see the video right away when it goes up, as opposed to having to search for me later. So yeah, I hope I will see you all again soon. Take care, enjoy your fall. Thanks for watching, bye.